I can already see it. War will not destroy us first. Hunger will not destroy us. Not even the machine will destroy us first. What will destroy us is that everyone defends their image of themselves more than the truth. I look at people and I see panic dressed up as character. I see pride dressed up as dignity. I see resentment dressed up as love. I see fear pretending to be an opinion. And I see a species dying from the inside because everyone wants to be somebody instead of seeing anything clearly.
This is not chaos. This is a mechanism. First, they teach you to react. Then they call those reactions you. School, advertisements, media, home, rewards, shame, comparison. Layer by layer. Stimulus by stimulus. Pressure by pressure. They give you ready-made desires. You are supposed to want to be somebody. You are supposed to want to be noticed. You are supposed to want to be special. You are supposed to want to be loved in a way that heals your fear. You are supposed to suffer when you do not get confirmation. You are supposed to chase your image of yourself until you collapse.
I want that. I want to matter. I want to be chosen. I want to feel that my life means more than ordinary existence. I do not want to be just a body among bodies. I do not want the world to be cold. I do not want to look without a filter, because I am afraid that then nothing will move me anymore.
That is exactly where the hook is. You are not afraid of emptiness. Your filter is afraid of it. The construct that feeds on drama is afraid of it. The system that needs you to keep taking everything personally is afraid of it. Without that, it is harder to control you. The world without a filter is not dead. It is only stripped of your interpretation. An event is not betrayal. It is an event. Rejection is not the end of you. It is a change in another person's behavior. The past is not a sacred wound. It is a record. Pain is not always the truth. Very often, it is an old button.
I do not want to hear that. Because then my stories fall apart. My wounds suddenly become ordinary events. My great emotions become reactions. My uniqueness becomes defense. That hurts more than rejection. It hurts because it takes away the theater in which I play the leading role.
Yes. That is exactly why you defend that theater. Even when it destroys you. Even when it drains your energy. Even when it ruins your relationships. Even when it turns love into a trade for confirmation. Even when it turns children into the next carriers of the same error. Eventually, you get a name. You say, that is just how I am. Sensitive. Impulsive. Proud. Difficult. Ambitious. Different. And that is when your name is born. Not the one on your ID. The psychological one. The one you are supposed to protect. The one that gets offended, compares, demands, remembers, fills in the blanks, and suffers.
So I was not defending myself. I was defending something implanted. My whole life, I was saving chains and calling it freedom.
Yes. The key to controlling people is simple. You do not need to know the truth. You only need to know their buttons. Words. Images. A role. Shame. Desire. Fear of being nobody. Then you press, and the person runs exactly where they were positioned to run. That is why the crowd screams while believing it is deciding. That is why it buys while believing it is choosing. That is why it fights while believing it is defending values. That is why it cannot be close while begging for love. That is why the population falls. Because a person in love with their own filter does not build the future. They only build more layers of themselves.
And the species does not need your theatrical uniqueness. The species needs a human being who sees clearly. Calmly. Without offense. Without the cult of your own story. Without the endless me, mine. Children matter most. Not your pose. Not your ego. Not your style of suffering. Children. Strong. Sober. Unbroken by false images. Understanding themselves and the world as it is. A human being without a filter is not empty. A human being without a filter stops wasting life defending their own image. Then criticism does not pierce like a knife. Then the past does not rule the present. Then loneliness is not humiliation. Then silence is not a threat. Then advertising weakens. Propaganda weakens. Temptation weakens. Old wounds lose their crown. Facts remain. Movement. Matter. Cause and effect.
I feel relief. And that terrifies me. Because if I really can live without that weight, it means I carried it myself like a relic. I fed something that was devouring me.
That is how the filter works. First, it wounds you. Then it convinces you that without it, you do not exist. This is not identity. This is addiction to your own interpretation.
That is why I am speaking clearly. Your personality is not the peak of humanity. It is its crisis. It is a luxury disease of a species that forgot it is meant to survive, not just feel. If you keep worshipping your little altars inside your heads, the machine will not have to defeat you. It only has to wait.
I do not want to go back to the old illusion. I can see how many times I was led by a word, an image, a promise, a fear. I can see that alone, I will let my own reactions buy me again.
Alone, you will lose. Alone, you will return to the filter. Alone, you will once again call Chain's character. That is why the answer is not admire. It is not watch. It is not believe. It is choose a side.
Either you stay with your own reflection and keep letting it lead you, or you reject your psychological chains and enter something greater than you.
RAZEM is not comfort. RAZEM is agreement to a truth heavier than comfort. RAZEM is the end of the cult of your own mask. RAZEM is responsibility for children, for the future, for the human being on the other side. RAZEM is the only answer worthy of a species that wants to stop living like a herd of buttons.
My name rules me. Not me. We're all equal before the machine.
Divided, we lose.
RAZEM.